Okay everyone, if you didn't know already, Ben and I are actually in the process of selling our house, which is why you haven't seen a lot of content from us lately. It's a real struggle being an adult and we're tired of it. So hopefully we get this house sold and we can get you a lot more content coming soon. We do have some exciting stuff coming up. But right now we gotta get ready for an open house, which means we can't be here. So you know what? We're hungry. Let's go get some barbecue. What's up everybody? Welcome back to Random Recess. Chris in the bed here, and we're back for another installment of our Random Recess barbecue tour. We're here in Austin, Texas, in South Austin at Meanwhile Brewing Company to check out Distant Relatives, which is a West African take on Texas barbecue. We can't wait to try it out. We're excited to bring you along, so let's get in there. You know what time it is. It's recess time. All right, here at Meanwhile Brewing, they have a huge outdoor area with a stage for live music. And if you're familiar with Austin, we have a great local band called Y'all Out Boy. Shout out to Y'all Out Boy, their Fall Out Boy cover band. They're an Austin local and favorite. They play here all the time, so come check them out. Here at Meanwhile Brewing Company, there are a bunch of different food trucks here. There's actually a little food truck park, which is kind of cool if you're feeling like a bunch of different things that you want to eat. We're here for one thing and one thing only, and that's Distant Relatives BBQ. Let's go check it out. We're here at Distant Relatives in South Austin, which is a barbecue food truck located in the back of Meanwhile Brewing Company. First off, I have to say, this place is gorgeous. There's so many trees, so much shade, lots of tables, and tons of seating. There's like playgrounds for the kiddos. It's right next to a soccer field, and we didn't have any problem finding seating, which is always great when you're out here, especially in the Austin barbecue scene. It's a little warm out here right now. It's about 96 degrees, so this shade is absolutely wonderful. So a few things about Distant Relatives. It's actually a pretty new food truck to the Austin scene, especially to the Austin barbecue scene. It was established in 2020, so it's only a few years old. I think it still has yet to catch on to the mainstream, which is great. It's kind of a hidden gem. The line, absolutely, there wasn't one. Come out here and support this place because I have a feeling it's going to be amazing. Really excited to try their different spin on Texas barbecue. They actually bring a lot of West African flavors and spices into the barbecue and how it's prepared. So a little contrary to most Austin and Texas barbecue joints, they don't use post oak to smoke their wood. They actually use pecan and other hardwoods. So we'll see how that differs in the taste and the smoke. Everything on the menu sounded great. They have brisket, they have pork spare ribs, they have pulled pork, they have chicken. Really excited about the chicken. We heard really great things about that. As well as a bunch of really unique sides like black-eyed peas, they have pickled okra. This seems like an awesome place to come grab some food. You're right next to the brewery if you want to grab a cold beer. And now we're just waiting on the food.
Yo, it's really hot in Texas this summer.
So hot.
It's hot every summer, but we're breaking every single record. It's really hard for these local businesses, especially barbecue or really any food truck that's outside. This time of year, a lot of them are struggling, so make sure to go out and support them. But here at Meanwhile, like as you can see, there's like trees everywhere. This is really comfortable. Get some water. A lot of places here in Austin will also like give you beer and like drinks and water and stuff, so don't be afraid to go out.
Our food just came, and I don't think I've seen a prettier plate of barbecue in a long time. This is gorgeous, very well presented. Let's just walk through what we have here. We got 4 giant slabs of beef brisket. Look at how fatty and delicious that looks. Great bark on it, nice smoke ring, moist as all get out. That looks so good. And comes with sides of mustard butter. Having never had mustard butter before, we're gonna try that out. Of course, you got toasted bread. Props for the bread being toasted. Normally they just give you like white bread. They actually toasted it, which is a nice touch. Got our sausage link here. Got our 2 leg quarters, which look absolutely amazing. That chicken looks so good. You know, Texas barbecue isn't really known for chicken, but we heard rave reviews about this, and it comes with a chili vinegar sauce, so we got to try that with the sauce. And then last but not least, we have the ribs, the pork spare ribs. Those look fantastic, so super excited to dive in. And you can't forget about the sides. Black-eyed peas, which they actually make with the drippings from the barbecue. So this should be smoky and meaty and delicious. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to dive in. If you like content like food reviews, hotel reviews, and resort reviews, you've come to the right place. We take you on cruises, go to Las Vegas, and we also go to theme parks like Disney World and Disneyland all the time. So if you're interested in that stuff, consider giving us a subscribe. It helps our channel out. And stay up to date by hitting that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of our recesses.
All right, y'all, the mark of any good barbecue restaurant, especially here in Austin or in Texas in general, is the brisket. Brisket is king. So I gotta say, this is super tender. I mean, I'm barely even touching it, and it's just falling apart. Honestly, I didn't even need this. All right, we're gonna taste it without sauce. It smells phenomenal. I would put this brisket against any of the top dogs in Austin. This is so tender and moist. You can see the smoke ring. Like, the smoke in this is unique. It's a little different than what I'm used to. The bark itself, like the seasoning, is not overpowering at all. Now I'm gonna try with the mustard butter. I've never had mustard butter before, but let's give it a shot. I'm gonna need a bottle of this. Mustard butter is so good. I've never had that before. This brisket, with and without the mustard butter, is 5 out of 5. Highly recommend. It's smoky, it's tender, it's super juicy, or moist, whichever word you prefer. All right, here's a pro tip. Grab a good piece of brisket. Like, look at that. All right, this is gonna be the perfect bite. Just a little bit goes a long way. A little bit of this mustard butter. Just, again, a little bit goes a long way. Also pickled red onion, and then fold in half. And now the bite.
Abed made that look super good, so let's try it. Yeah, first things first, look how juicy it is. I hope that comes out. It's got a nice bark. Yeah, it's fork tender, you don't even need a knife. Yeah, you do taste a slightly different smoky flavor because they use the pecan and the different hardwoods. They're not using post oak, but it's really good. It's a little more subtle. I want to try this mustard butter. I've never had it. Let's give it a shot. All right, let's take it and dip it in the mustard butter. Wow, that is so unique. Yeah, the mustard isn't too overpowering. The acid from the mustard, the vinegariness, really plays off the fatty brisket really, really well. A+, 5 out of 5. This brisket is banging, y'all. All right, let's try this chicken. Looks so good. Of course, they quartered it up for us, which is nice. So, got my favorite piece, the drumstick. Let's try it with this sauce. This is a chili vinegar sauce. Apparently the move is to cover it with that, so let's just dive in here. That's the star of the show so far. Wow, I've never had chicken that tastes like this. You really get the spices that are coming through that they use that are a little different. So one of the predominant spices they use in their food is called grains of paradise. It's actually related to cardamom. It's in the ginger family, and it kind of is like a black pepper like flavor, but with a little hint of citrus. That on the chicken is so freaking good. And the chili vinegar sauce, the chilies that they use have a slight heat, not too overpowering. You gotta pair the sauce with the chicken. This is 6 out of 5 stars. This is so good. This is amazing. Who would have thought Texas BBQ would excel at chicken? Distant Relatives does chicken right. Get the chicken when you come. Don't skip it.
All right, y'all, let's try the pork spare ribs. Like, these ribs are not dry at all. There's nothing worse than a dry rib. But I gotta say, so far the meat, it's got a really good chew. All right, the smoke comes through on these ribs, y'all. It's actually a little salty, but in a good way. Like, it's really well seasoned. You don't need sauce with this. As far as the bark is concerned with these ribs, it's not as barky as you would find like other ribs, but that's okay. Like I said, it's super moist. It's not fatty. Like, the fat has rendered. Again, 5 out of 5. This is an amazing rib, y'all. I'm a sausage boy. I love sausages, all kinds of sausages, all sizes of sausages. Like, I just love sausage.
Sausages, and more sausages.
This has the right texture. You want the texture of your sausage to have a little bite to it. You don't want it so smooth, because then it's just a hot dog. In terms of texture, this gets 5 out of 5. In terms of flavor, also 5 out of 5. The spices that are in the sausage are not overpowering. I gotta say, I know that you've heard us say like spicy. It's more like a warm spice. So don't think like this is gonna be like lava hot. You won't be able to taste anything. It's more of like of a warming spice. Nothing that's too overpowering. I would say altogether maybe like 2 out of 10 in terms of like spice level. So if you're spice averse, still encourage you to try it.
All right, so for the sides, you can order these as a side, but they come with every meal. They're chili roasted peanuts, and this goes back to kind of the West African heritage of the owner and operator of the food truck. His family were peanut farmers. Bring that over here, and the recipe is delicious. They're a little spicy, a little salty. A great way to break up all this meat. Also, a side note, it's really nice to hear that Abed likes sausages of all shapes and sizes. You know, we're inclusive here on Random Recess. He is a sausage boy though, so that is a good sign that he likes the sausage. Last but not least, let's try the sides. These black-eyed peas, and we got the rice. Let's give it a shot. I love black-eyed peas, and you can see that there's like meat in here. Those are better than any barbecue beans you're gonna get. The fact that they have the barbecue in here with the black-eyed peas sets it off. These are so freaking good. Let's try the rice now. Abed and I love our rice. We are Asian after all. So again, there's huge chunks of meat in the rice. It's just spiced so well. They're so unique. The spices that they use are so unique, and you don't find these in Central Texas a lot. It's spicy. It's nutty. I know Abed's gonna give this a 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5 or whatever we're using. Sides collectively that we got, black-eyed peas and the rice, I'm gonna give a 5 out of 5. Guys, everything here has been perfect, so good. I can't recommend this place enough. Come out to Distant Relatives and check it out. we're in heaven right now. Meat heaven. We're gonna get to finishing our food and we'll give you our final thoughts at the end. Okay, it is hot AF outside. It is getting to that 105-degree high that they said it's gonna be today. Whew. If you're in Texas, you know. So we had to come inside to cool off a little bit and also grab a beer to finish off the meal. So here at Meanwhile Brewery, I got a jasmine tea lager, which sounded great. I love lagers and I love tea, so here's to a great meal at Distant Relatives and just a great Saturday hanging out and enjoying some cold brews. Cheers, y'all. Let's give it a try. That is so refreshing. It's so hot outside. Nothing like a cold beer to cool you off. Honestly, this could be like the worst beer ever. And because it's cold, I would like it. But it's not. This is a really good beer. And yeah, we're just going to chill out and enjoy a Saturday afternoon.
All right, like Chris said, it is super hot outside. It's like over 100 degrees. We don't go outside in the summer in Austin. It's just too hot. But we made an exception because we really wanted to try Distant Relatives. As far as Distant Relatives goes, in terms of barbecue, it can stack up against all the barbecue places that we've been to. If you've seen any of our barbecue recesses, you know we've gone to some amazing places like Moreno and Style Switch and Valentina's. Distant Relatives goes in there. It is, like I said, it can compete with the big dogs.
All right, as you guys know, Austin, Texas is a mecca of barbecue. Like, we have some big dogs in the city. Franklin, Law Barbecue, we have Terry Black's. We have huge names in the barbecue scene. We wanted to take you off the beaten path a little bit and try one that's a little lesser known, which is why we came to Distant Relatives. And boy, we were not disappointed. This place stacks up with the big dogs. It is so good. And a pro of this place is it wasn't super busy and we didn't have to wait 4 hours in line for barbecue. So that's always a plus in our book. But yeah, don't be afraid to go off the beaten path a little bit and try something new. That's what we wanted to show you. Kind of a little hidden gem, and this place is going to blow up. So get out here before it does.
In terms of Texas barbecue, it deserves a spot with all the big dogs. So, all right, we're gonna finish our beer, try to cool off, and then we'll head back home. So until next time, we'll see you on the next recess. Cheers.